What's going on? This is Eddie.
And this is Mark.
We're from Suicide Silence.
Silence.
And you're watching us here on Metal Wani. Motherfuckers. Hello.
Good old Metal Wani.
Greeting for Metal Wani, guys.
What's
Hello.
up?
Thank you very much to be with us.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Welcome to London. So UK fans been waiting for a year now for this tour. So
Yeah, man.
how has it been so far for you guys?
It's been really good.
Yeah, man. A lot more people have been showing up than I expected. I like to keep my show expectations like pretty high. Like I like to see like pre-sales and be like, oh well, it's gonna do more than that, or like if the pre-sales are high, I'll be like, oh wow, the show's gonna be really great. But for whatever reason on this tour, I wasn't expecting like the numbers that have showed up, and I've been really stoked every day. Everybody's really passionate. Everybody's really stoked on the new songs, and I couldn't be happier.
We're definitely on trial at these shows. People are watching and wanting to really understand what's going on, because there's so much shit surrounding the band. So people are coming and watching the show, and it heats up and warms up and escalates the entire time, just like any other Suicide Silence show in the past. So it's good.
So how many songs from the new record are you playing, guys?
5 right now.
Yeah, 5 out of the 9 songs. They're intermittent in between all the old songs. We're playing like 13 songs total.
I think so.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So Suicide Silence released a self-titled album a month ago now. It's received a great response for some section of the community, and others didn't like it. So without getting too deep, how is the band feeling right now with some backlash, some love, or some drop in album sales?
Feels like there's probably more fire to come at the shows, even more just slamming than we ever have.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty apparent that the response was quick to the draw. So it's like they never saw it live, they never listened to the whole record. It was like people were bashing it before it was out. So now it's just like, give it some time, go play some shows, and if people don't come around, they don't come around, and there's always the next record.
Well, it's one of those things too where the record was kind of predetermined to create this buzz. We knew for a fact that the state of music is where it is, and that people can react immediately to music that they're not really paying attention to. So we gave them a record that they have to listen to, that you have to listen to more than once, and not on your phone listening to it, or not on your computer speakers. Like you need to actually take some time and listen to the record. So when people were reacting poorly, it's kind of like I already knew it was coming. It's like I told you so. It's really interesting. It's really fun.
So I appreciate the artistic integrity you guys maintain to write something that you all were yearning for. You wanted to write this music, and whoever opposed it was discarded from the band. So now everyone has the balls to do what you guys did. So how far do you think you have achieved that goal of crossing boundaries?
Yeah, I mean we've not only crossed, we took a big leap. Like used a pole and launched ourselves over to the other side. The best description I can ever use is most people like to dip their toes in the water, and we dove straight in head first to the deepest part of the pool, and we went scuba diving.
Yeah, it definitely, just as every one of our records has, and I always try and gain from, it has pushed an amount of influence and inspiration to continue on with something that can be blending of all the boundaries, and where we're going to go next, and how we're going to just dial in Suicide Silence from here on out. Because I mean, just like Eddie said earlier, we knew if we were doing something different, it was going to have an insane reaction. Suicide Silence is one thing, so if we don't do that one thing, fuckers are going to freak out.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do in the future is now like, I feel like it's like even more like, what are we going to do? Like, how should we do this next step? So
yeah, exactly.
It's cool.
Now, you mentioned in some interview that Mitch wanted to change the song and introduce clean vocals. So, has this been done earlier with Mitch? And do you think that the band will have received or faced the backlash at that time as well?
Yeah, I would say like 100%. If we would have done something like that, we would have gotten a similar response. That is huge inspiration to why we went so far over the edge as well, just because even back then we weren't ready to face that fear, that intimidation of like, oh, people aren't going to like this, you know, like we know the way that deathcore and death metal further back, we know that death metal is already so exclusive that we couldn't be a death metal band, we had to be a deathcore band. So when we became a deathcore band, if we're going to go do something that's a little bit not deathcore, we're all of a sudden metalcore. You know what I mean? Like, so no matter what you do, it's like, you're not that anymore, you're not that anymore, whatever. Like, we wanted to do so much more shit, you know, and we never really did it. And so now we kind of had it all built up so much that it's like this record just became slam. Here's all of that shit. Like, so who knows? It is what it is now.
Mm-hmm. I love the emotional side of Eddie on this record. Your vocals are powerful and deliver a message. It took some time to sink in, and once you did, it feels quite good actually. So I'm sure you've been working really hard on this record. Mm-hmm. So are you gonna work even further on your vocals?
Yeah, I mean, I don't ever consider myself to be done learning. I think that's one of the. I was having this conversation with Garza the other day. I don't ever feel like you ever reach a point as a musician, and you're like, okay, yeah, I've learned it all, and I know it all. I've reached the pinnacle, and I'm done with this. The day that happens, if that ever is even a day that could possibly exist, I would just stop singing and like pick up the piano or pick up the drums because I'm really terrible at drums. So
pick them up and throw them out the window.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what we're doing these days. But yeah, I mean, I would just pick up another instrument and try to learn that. In music, I feel like it's a never-ending school. So every day I learn, every day I try to get better.
Mm-hmm. So a band generally prefer to have a self-titled album when they plan to start afresh with different kind of song. This one is clearly a new start, and every start you face the odds, obviously. Mm-hmm. So does it mean Suicide Silence is going to continue on the same music direction in the future as well? Kind of talk about that.
I'd like to think that what it has really done is made it so that you can't expect something from us. You're just going to have to wait and see what we're going to do, because we don't know if we're going to do a straight heavy record or go a straight soft record or whatever. We want to be able to be inspired by life and do whatever the fuck we want to do.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we have endless wells of choices. We live in a day and age where music has been such an integral part of all of our lives. We all like different bands. We all like different styles. We all like the same stuff too, you know. So I mean, it all depends on where we're at as people. You know, if we feel like making a record in a certain way, it's going to be that way. So you know, the not having expectations is one thing that we're kind of suggesting to people nowadays. Is don't expect anything from us, because we're going to give you something that comes from the bottom of our hearts, no matter what.
So now, with the media actively observing each and every action of yours, be it the music, live show, breaking instruments, or whatever, in every interview the band is always brutally honest, and always give his opinion, which I really like. So did it help the band expand his audience or otherwise?
I think the media is being very biased, especially like certain websites. They report it a certain way, and then it's like a wildfire. Everybody else reports it a certain way. They've been doing nothing but sensationalizing everything, you know, which is fine. Keeping our name in the press is keeping our name in the press. It really does nothing but make it more hearsay and hype. You know, it doesn't have to be good. We don't need praises. We've been praised and not praised and hated on and loved for 10 years now. So it really just makes it exactly what we said it was going to be, which is the most talked about record in 2017. Our record overshadows just even us talking in general will overshadow a band's record coming out in the presses and in the media. And regardless of good or bad, it's just the biggest news around, because there isn't bands out there with balls, and there aren't people really pushing the boundaries. People keeping things exactly the same and calling it punk rock, and it's not.
It's similar to, you go on the internet and see a lot of people go and say something in a way where it'd be like, you guys suck, or this is this, or you can't sing, or whatever the fuck. Like, those people are more apt to go make these negative comments. It kind of feels like not just the metal media, like the whole world's media, they need to give you something that is negative, something that is more enjoyable to read, that's going to be something that is, it's not going to be something all fucking nice and like interesting. That's not what people want to read. They want to be like, oh, somebody got shot, like, or you know, anything like that. So like for us, it started with fans petition to not have our record come out, which is like stupid because fans aren't the ones doing that. Like, idiots on the internet made a fucking petition to not have a record come out, and then it becomes like, oh, everyone, you know, starts being twisted in a certain way. So it helps in one way because people are looking at it like, what the fuck is going on with that? But on the other end, it's kind of fake news.
Yeah.
Now coming to the production in relation to Ross Robinson, his production on some of my favorite record is phenomenal, and since Rob is now a new metal guy, every bands that work on record with him kind of get this new metal tag as well.
Sure.
So what were the most important things he brought to Suicide Silence sound that you guys maybe didn't think about it?
Attention. Number one thing is he gave us like 100% attention to the music.
Yeah.
Never worked with a producer that was so present and there all the time, and like not like taking days off and having an engineer fill in or anything. So the care that he had, and that since he cared so much about the music, it just projected onto us for us to 100% be there and be mad at each other if we aren't there, you know, or like be upset with each other if they aren't giving the attention that everybody's giving. So it just brought a overall like encumbered by the process.
Ross is the type of dude that before a recording session, he has to completely cut you open, and he has to see exactly what's inside of you in order to be able to get the right take from you. Every guitar lick on the record, every drum hit, every bass note on the record, every vocal take has 100% or nothing. So it's one of those things where it's like, if the take wasn't 100%, he wasn't gonna use it. Even if the take was really good, but it wasn't 100% feeling, he would keep the one that doesn't sound as good because that take had all the feeling. So the one thing that I got in the big picture and the overall thing from Ross was, from moment it starts to the moment it ends, this record is pure passion, pure energy, pure angst and fire that could just coming out of you from a place that you don't really know that exists inside of you. And he's the only person that I could ever think that could have gotten out of me and this out of the band.
Yeah, he's a master.
So after these tour, guys, do you have any other thing planned or?
Some U.S. festivals, Chicago Open Air and Carolina Rebellion, and then a bunch of Eurofests. Over here we're doing Download and doing Download Paris and Grass Pop and Rock 'em Ring, Rock 'em Park.
The Full Force.
All that. So we'll be over here all of June, well, in Europe, and Download in June.
Yeah.
And
would love to go to India again. I had a good time last time we were there.
Yep. I actually just talked to Amit, the guy that brought us over last time. Just talked to him the other day.
Yeah.
Says India's just doing dandy. I miss India right now.
Cool, man. Yeah. Thank you very much for your time, guys.
Absolutely. Thank you, man.
Looking for the show.
Oh,
yeah, man. It's gonna be a sick one tonight.
Sound check was fucking rad today.
Yeah.
It sounded really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.